here on MLB Now. Let's bring in Jeffrey Paternostro of Amazing Avenue right now and go over some of these prospects. Jeffrey, you follow this team very closely and their prospects very closely. Give me somebody. If it's Syndergaard, it's Syndergaard. That's the guy that a lot of us in the mainstream hear about. Who do you think could make an impact this year for the Mets?
I hate to go with Noah Syndergaard. I wish I had something a little more clever, but it's Noah Syndergaard. I think you look at his 2014 in AAA next to guys like Matt Harvey and Zach Wheeler, Mets fans have been a little bit spoiled. You see a 4.6 ERA and well over a hit per inning. But as a 21-year-old in Vegas, he struck out a quarter of the batters he faced. That's certainly comparable to what Zach Wheeler did there, and the stuff backs it up. It's a major league fastball, two very good off-speed offerings potentially in his curveball and his changeup. And when he got into trouble last year, he tried to pump fastballs by guys. And when you're dealing with AAA hitters, guys with major league service time that are seeing major league fastballs, they're going to hurt you if your command isn't perfect, and that's what happened. But if there's an opening this year, if they trade Dylan G in the spring or somebody gets hurt, every team uses more than 5 starters, more than 6 starters. Noah Syndergaard's probably the first guy on the plane from Vegas.
Hey, Jeffrey, it's Dan Plesac. A lot of people go out to Citi Field and you hear the Mets fans chant, "Let's go Mets, let's go Mets." Are we going to hear "Let's go Mets" for Steven Matz, the lefty? Will we see him in 2015?
I think maybe in September. It's sort of, again, the Mets are spoiled for choice here. Beyond the top 5, they're going to have Dylan G in camp, who might end up in the bullpen as a very, very nice 6th starter to have. Noah Syndergaard behind him, Rafael Montero got major league service time last year, but Steven Matz is the guy that put himself on the map as a national top 100 prospect last year. I know Las Vegas 51's manager, Wally Backman, loves him. Thinks he's at least as good, if not possibly a better prospect than Noah Syndergaard. And his curveball took a big step forward at the end of 2014, and that's really the missing piece there. You pair that with above-average velocity from a southpaw and a very advanced changeup, considering given he came up, had Tommy John surgery almost immediately after signing. He hasn't thrown a lot of professional innings. To see a changeup that advanced from the lefty, it's pretty nice. And the thing that doesn't get talked about a lot about Steven Matz, he looks like a big-game pitcher. He's a guy that put in really nice performances in the South Atlantic League and Eastern League playoffs the last 2 seasons. So if there's a guy that's going to force the issue, you don't want to compare anyone to Jacob deGrom, because I don't think that's something that happens. That's like a once-in-a-generation kind of jump. You want to see a guy that can put himself on the map and really force the issue to get up before a cup of coffee in September. I think Steven Matz is your guy.
Jeff, Eric Burns, I had a chance to watch Michael Conforto play a lot at Oregon State last year. He was a first-round pick of the Mets, 10th overall, went to Brooklyn, had a very nice year. How soon can we expect to see him in Queens?
Well, I think the story with Conforto when he was drafted, besides arguably being the best college hitter in that draft class, was he was going to be a fast mover. And the Mets like to put their first-round picks in Brooklyn, so I don't know how much we've really learned about him, other than he was probably too good for the New York Penn League. But if he could start in St. Lucie this year, get to Double-A at some point, I know Keith Law, for example, thinks he could be up as soon as the end of 2015. I think that's a bit ambitious. But the guy can hit. You look at that swing, it's very nice. He's got a good approach that the Mets like. He's already a very advanced bat to the level he's going to play at this year. I think 2016, could he maybe not win a job at spring to be the first guy up if someone gets injured? I think so.
All right, Jeffrey Paternostro, again, Amazing Avenue on the Mets prospects. Jeffrey, great having you on the show. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks again.